Left-handed from three. Hull comes soaring in again. Just uncanny knack. And cashes in.
Is on the upper left wing. Just got inside. Circles around. Pure.
Hello guys, welcome back to TFD with another video. And today, oh boy, we got a spicy one. DeWanna Bonner just fired some major missiles at the Indiana Fever team and fan base. For this one here, we gotta go all the way down to Phoenix. Let's get it. Let's go. Now, let's talk about what just happened. DeWanna Bonner's plan worked, man. She went back to Phoenix. She's right where she wanted to be. And now she's headed back to the WNBA championship. But here's the only glitch in the situation. If the Indiana Fever knock off the Las Vegas Aces this upcoming Tuesday, guess who Bonner's gonna have to face in the finals? That's right, the same very team she quit because she didn't like her role. Tell me this ain't box office. This is storybook drama. Now all the Fever have to do is take care of business this Tuesday. They gotta knock off the Aces. Do I know if they'll win? Honestly, I don't. Last game was good, great even. But consistency is the issue. And I've been saying this. The Fever don't have a steady, reliable presence at the point guard position. That's the Achilles heel. Odyssey Sims, Ariel Powers, Shea Petty, even Lexie Hull at times. They're all capable, but it's night and day with those players. You don't know who's showing up. Lexie comes in with energy when her number's called. Sure, but with the others, you roll the dice. Had the Fever had Caitlin Clark, we already know the result. Caitlin is Caitlin. She balls every night. You know what you're gonna get. And honestly, with Caitlin running this offense, I truly believe the Fever would already be championship bound. But to give credit where it's due, Kelsey Mitchell has been hooping. Aaliyah Boston has been a down low. And off the bench, you've had some role players stepping in and filling gaps. So it's not all doom and gloom. But man, that PG spot still gives me pause. Now let's circle back to DeWanna Bonner. Rubber is about to meet the road for her in the next 48 hours. If the Fever knock out the Aces, it will be the biggest storyline in sports, not just the WNBA, because Bonner quit on this team.
A'ja Wilson sets a screen where she extends her leg out, but of course they call the foul on Lexie Hull for A'ja Wilson's illegal screen. Then A'ja Wilson and Alyssa Smith totally foul Michaela Timpson, but there is no call. Could have took a 1-point lead going into half. Now we're up by 3 and they call a foul that isn't a foul. So we don't get calls when we're getting hit, but the Aces get a call when nobody touches anybody.
Stephanie, why don't you think you were able to find any flow? And when that was the case, what are you trying to do to jumpstart things, maybe on the defense?
Well, it's hard for us to find flow when there's a foul call every 10 seconds. I mean, it just really is. And when they're at the free throw line, we can't get up and down the floor. And that's a challenge. They were much more aggressive and physical defensively. We didn't counter that with our off-ball actions or with our back cuts. So they took us out of our comfort zone. I mean, offense is about rhythm, it's about timing, it's about spacing. We allowed them to do that, and they kept us from doing it.
A'ja Wilson is 1 for 12 as the foul is called on Boston, and that will be number 2 on Aaliyah Boston.
You saw Indiana picking up full court pressure defensively, and if you're Aaliyah Boston, that's the one spot on the floor you do not want to get a foul call.
And Stephanie White is trying to challenge it and did not call the timeout in time. Bray in the corner. Connect!
She left Indy saying she didn't like her role, whispering about locker room issues. But everybody knows she really just want to be back in Phoenix with her partner. She had a press conference late last night, and man, she didn't hold back. She had some words about her season. And let me tell you, a lot of what she said felt like subliminal shots at the Fever organization and fan base. Personally, I feel like Bonner has been throwing missiles at Indiana from the moment she got out of there. And for what? She got what she wanted. She's in Phoenix. She's in the final, but she can't let Indiana go. She keeps bringing them up. It's not a good look, bro. Like, okay, y'all pulled off the heist. You snatched Bonner out of Indy. But let's be real. She wasn't contributing anyway. I'm starting to believe she tanked herself to get traded. If I'm Indiana, I don't let her walk. You sign the contract, you stay. But this is a WNBA, and players aren't used to accountability. And here's the thing. Sports fans are paying attention now. Caitlin Clark brought in new fans. Sophie Cunningham brought in new fans. People are locked in, and when they see something sketchy, they call it out. That's what happened with Bonner. When she vanished earlier this season, Fever fans were writing for her. They were sending thoughts and prayers, thinking something serious had happened. People thought she had health issues, family emergencies, real life stuff. But nah, turns out she just didn't like her playing time. That's wild. After all that money the Fever invested, she pulls this. And then to top it off, she demanded a trade and said the only team she'd go to was Phoenix. Like, hold up. You mean to tell me you forced your way out just to go play with your partner? That's not a basketball move. That's a lifestyle move. And behind the scenes, don't forget the Stephanie White connection. Coach Steph basically opened the door for this. And that's one of the reasons I don't trust the whole situation. If we're being real, the Fever got scammed. Fast forward to last night. Phoenix takes down the Bonner sitting in the post-game press conference next to Alyssa Thomas, who honestly might have the worst attitude in professional sports. And what does Bonner do? She plays the victim card. She accuses Indiana Fever fans of bullying her. Seriously? That's what makes this so wild. You quit? You forced your way to Phoenix? Now you're in the finals. You won. So why are you still talking about Indy? Why are you blaming the fans? You got what you wanted, but instead of moving on, you're throwing shade. And here's the kicker. If Indiana knocks out Vegas and meets Phoenix in the finals, Bonner is gonna have to face the very team she bailed on. That's poetic justice, man. That's must-watch TV. So let me know what y'all think. Did Bonner really quit on the Fever? Did Indy get scammed? And if Caitlin Clark had been there, are we talking about the Fever already being in the finals? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this story is far from over.
2-minute recap from last night. So A'ja Wilson pushes Howard in the back. Howard pushes her in the back. It's a foul on Howard. Look at this. Aaliyah Boston gets totally fouled by Nalissa Smith. Like, it's obvious, but no call. And then A'ja Wilson gets the call for not half as much. And then Nalissa Smith gets the call for not even getting touched. Here's a replay just to prove it to you. Yep, didn't get touched. Offensive foul, practically a football check, and the Aces score. So now the Aces cut it to 2, and then A'ja Wilson sets an illegal screen, and they tied things up. And then Lexie Hull gets called for a foul for doing nothing when they just had 2 illegal screens they didn't call. All right, so this is fair. Same thing happens on the other side, but they don't call a foul for Kelsey Mitchell. So Leah Boston gets called for this foul for getting her arm grabbed, but Stephanie White can't challenge. They won't let her. That's the second time this game they didn't let her have her challenge. And then A'ja Wilson starts acting like a big baby.
So the media, as expected, did not check DeWanna Bonner on her comments in case you didn't catch exactly what she said. Here's a quote. I don't know if it's been like a whirlwind. It's been tough. I've been through a lot, especially the cyberbullying. Oh my God. Okay, let's stop right there. So now, according to Bonner, the entire Indiana Fever fan base, the entire Caitlin Clark fan base are just a bunch of bullies. Why? Because fans called her out for doing the one thing you don't do in sports, quitting on your team. I've been following sports for 50 years. Let me tell you right now, this is one of the most blatant cases of an athlete walking away on a franchise I have ever seen. And look, if we actually had sports talk radio covering the WNBA, she would have been ripped to shreds for this. You know how Lamar Jackson got dragged when people thought he quit on the Ravens because of his contract situation? Same thing here, except worse. Bonner abandoned her team, and when sports fans pointed out, she turned around and cried, "Cyberbullying." Nah, that's not how this works. See, this is what happens when a league that's been ignored for years suddenly has the spotlight. You don't get cuddled anymore. You don't get a free pass. You got sports fans paying attention now, and sports fans call it like they see it. That's not bullying, that's accountability. And of course, the responses came flying in. Some folks called her comments flat out lie. Others said she's not the victim, she's the one doing the damage. Cyberbullying, please. That's just fans doing what they've done to every major athlete since the dawn of sports talk. Criticize, question, and call you out. Think about it. Tom Brady, the GOAT, got roasted every single Sunday for 2 decades. Michael Jordan, people tore him apart constantly. Kobe, LeBron, you name it. They all got hammered, but they didn't go running to social media to cry about being bullied. They just kept showing up and competing. DeWanna Bonner, she's 38 years old. At some point, you gotta grow up and close the app. Twitter, Instagram, that's not real life. Go outside. Put the phone down. Because if you're gonna hang your entire career on what people say online, you're never gonna make it through the storm. And the bigger issue is this. The WNBA has become almost unwatchable because of this mindset.
Boston has the mismatch on Lloyd. Help comes. Kick out. Hull will fire. And hit from 3. Last 2 positions inside from Indiana. Smith tied up by Hull. And a jump ball between Smith and Hull.
On the left side of the floor, just a clear out, letting Jackie Young go to work.
Jackie Young with 17 points. Boston to the corner. Hull catch, fire, and hit. Correct call. Evans dishes. Ray whips a pass inside. What a denial from Lexie Hull.
The Hull able to save the play.
Back to Hull. Wide open 3 is good.
The floor that she wants, doesn't it?
It does. Mitchell. Connect. Here's Mitchell. Mitchell, one more. You bet.
Too many players. Too many people in the league walking around with this bubble of entitlement. Like the second they face criticism, it's automatically hate or bullying. No, it's called being a professional athlete. And here's the kicker. They're writing articles now saying MAGA is coming for the WNBA. Please. The truth is, fans are finally paying attention. But instead of embracing that and proving themselves, players like Bonner try to play the victim card. Sorry, doesn't fly here. At the end of the day, here's the reality. You quit on a franchise. Fans called you out, and now you want sympathy? Nah. Sports doesn't work that way. You don't get to bail on your team and then try to flip the script on the people who supported you. So, you tell me, DeWanna Bonner, is she really a victim? Or is this just another example of the WNBA trying to dodge accountability? I know where I stand. Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
Here we go. She gets a foul call with a 3-point game for, I don't know why they called that foul, but it's the 3rd quarter and they want them to win. So here we go. Ace is up by 3. They call another foul for A'ja Wilson that isn't a foul. All right, so then they call another foul on the Fever that isn't a foul. And then to end the game after it's out of control because the Fever had a 6-point lead, but they kept calling fouls. Another foul for A'ja Wilson that's not a foul. Ball don't lie. A'ja missed 11 shots in a row during this game.
2 as well.
Here's Hull. Working behind Boston. Boston was open. Great fake. And Boston lays it in.
Got hit a lot tonight. To shoot 1 free throw in 38 minutes. I know they told me not to say anything, but I can't.
Here's Boston, back to Hull. Sets herself up. Mitchell is free, laying it in. Been a while since Mitchell has gotten a shot attempt. Mitchell will get one here. And hit. Sims. Hoist. Short. Look at Hull coming screaming in for the rebound. Boston trying to body Wilson, and does. Sims back to Boston. Going back to work and dropping it in. An aggressive and effective Aaliyah Boston. Hull needs some help. Dump it in Boston. Find the cutter. Tips and lays it in.